Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Valentine's Day has come and gone, which has got a lot of us thinking, now what? Well, in today's show, I'm giving you tips to help you step up your sex and dating game, including tips for setting the perfect sext, helping your partner open up in the bedroom, and so much more. Thanks for listening. Okay, people, the genius design team at WeVibe has done it again. The brand new Nova by WeVibe is quite simply a dual stimulation superstar, in that it expertly pleasures your clitoris and G-spot at the same time without missing a beat. You might be thinking, that sounds like my favorite rabbit vibe, but it's not. Unlike traditional rabbits that tend to lose contact when you slide the shaft outward, the Nova has this external stimulator that's long and curved, and it creates this firm, flexible external pressure. So when you maneuver the G-spot insertion stimulator, the external part does not leave your clitoris, which is the whole point of dual stimulation. So it's kind of like they hacked the rabbit vibe, which was always problematic because the little thing leaves your clitoris and you want it to stay in your clitoris and inside the whole time. You just got to check out the Nova because it's easy to use. The controls let you cycle through its multiple vibration modes and even allows you to work the internal and external side stimulations independently. Because as you know, if you're looking for your G-spot, sometimes it's great to have a little clitoral orgasm first. Just pop one of those suckers out and then have the whole dual stimulation thing, have blended orgasms. It's all a good time. And you can also connect this to your smartphone using the WeConnect app. Your partner can vibe you. You can vibe yourself using the phone. All that. So check it out, the Nova by WeVibe. It's so unique. Just try it. Believe me, you know, I never say you're wrong. Go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Nova banner, and go to wevibe.com. It'll take you there, and enter promo code Emily for a special discount. Thanks for listening.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily. You got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I feel so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. Check out all of our cool things there. I think we are actually launching our new website this weekend. Anderson. Hi, Anderson.
What up, Em?
I've been talking about this new website thing for, a few months now, but you know websites. They take a while. But we've been having some issues with the old one finally. It's just dead. And our new one is going to be so awesome because I've got 10 years of material on there, and sometimes it's harder to find. So now it's going to be all souped up. You can still sign up for the mailing list. Check out all of our blogs. We update it every day, videos, all that good stuff. And also, check out our YouTube channel, and now I'm on Snapchat because the kids got to do Snapchat. I'm into it. I just started it.
I'm so old. That's
I'm
the
at
one
Sex Emily on everything.
It
Twitter,
disappears,
Instagram.
right?
It disappears. I know we are right. Everyone.
It's been around for years. When I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, great. So it's for like kids to like
sexting.
send pictures of their vaginas, and then they just go away.
Right. But now it's like a whole thing.
The thing. Like I've heard everyone's migrated from like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is Snapchat.
But now it goes away. It does go away. But you have these stories. So you have like a daily story that you could tell. So it's like you just start snapping through all the day. Like, here's my lunch. Here's like yesterday we were shooting videos.
Most of the stuff should be thrown away.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be put out there to begin with.
I don't understand. I guess I just feel like I'm trying it out, like Periscope and all that stuff, which I'm all at Sex Family if you're digging any of these things. Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
Who's not digging?
But the thing is, we're digging. But the thing about Snapchat is, it does go away. It's still a little bit confusing to me. I'm trying to figure it out because I guess it feels much more intimate, because it's like people can really see, like, I'm in my house. We were shooting videos.
You can do that on
behind the
Instagram.
scenes.
You can do that on Twitter.
Yeah, but Instagram's so much more. I'll show you after.
But I don't.
It's like, I was thinking like during love, like right now. I'm glad you asked.
You can do this with Instagram, though.
No. I'm Snapchatting you right now. Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to Snapchat. Hi, fuck. I see. I'm really bad at it still. No, wait. Okay.
You
I'm going to
cussed
take a
first
video.
this week. You cussed first.
Okay. Sorry.
Well done.
Okay. This is me recording my show with Anderson. Say hi, Anderson.
Hi.
Snapchat. I'm teaching him it.
I just flashed.
Okay. Fun. Hi.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's done. And then I post that 7-minute thing on Snapchat.
7 minutes.
7 seconds.
That was a quick 7.
And then you could do pictures, you could do whatever, and then people look at your story that lasts 24 hours. So like this morning I did me sitting with Madison, which I really didn't, but I could have. She was at my house. And then I'll do Walking Stanley.
Why is this different than...
I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
It's
But
Vine, it's Instagram, it's
easier.
Twitter. If you add a picture to your comment, it's the same. It's just kids, for whatever reason, like this is the hip place to be right now.
Right. And I don't know.
And it was invented, obviously, for sexting, I would think.
Well, it was. It was
But it
invented
took
for sexting,
maybe
which we're going to talk about.
24 hours for the
Now I wanna
nerd kids
post
to
it, but
figure
I
out how
can't.
to capture those vaginas and nipples that were being Snapchatted, and then they keep them and they can put those wherever they want. Because there's always a way to capture it, even if it does go away after.
I'm just including this in my story. Hold on. I'm just doing it, posting now. I'm totally
Do I
listening
look
to you.
good? Do I look good?
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
though it's
totally.
going to be erased? Okay.
I posted it. Yeah, I don't even know what happens. So it's kind of like you don't have to think about it as much. It's really easy just to be like, here, like last night I did like 6 of them because we were shooting videos all day at the house. It was like behind the scenes shooting our videos. And then I was out with my friend Nikki at Cantor's Deli. I'm like, here's my matzo ball soup. And it was like throughout the day. And it's your story. And that
I
was
get it.
24 hours.
You couldn't have done that on Instagram.
Well, but that's
I
like
get
no
it.
one wants you to post 8 times a day on Instagram.
Hey, if I'm following on Snapchat, same thing. I don't want you to post 9
No,
times.
but then people looked at like 5,000 people looked at my stuff yesterday.
You know what it's doing? It's just gearing us more towards a throwaway society that we already are. And
I know, it's so
gross.
sad. I think we should give away our phones and throw
What
them
if
over.
movies and like all of television, like TV back in the olden days, like they wouldn't record it. Like it would air, it would go out on the television, and
remember.
they wouldn't be getting backed up anywhere.
Never.
And we'll
That
never
was it.
ever
Never
see those
see it again.
That was the original Snapchat.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Never going back to the old time. You're right. But I think it was initially I thought about it like, oh, now you can sext your partner or like send the naked
Now you
photos.
can.
Yeah, and then it goes away. But you can still do screenshots. But then
Yeah.
I guess people
You can do beyond that. The nerds figured out a way. I mean, there's
they can
certain,
hack Snapchat.
Yeah, there's websites
They can hack
devoted
my cloud.
to Snapchats.
Really? That are supposed to be so secret?
Yeah, there's entire
Dude, I'm just having fun. This
forms.
is another way to be attached to
You
my
done
phone
it?
forever.
You done it?
Done what?
Have your nips slipped up on the old
No,
Snapchat
I hope
there?
not. I
No?
just posted something. I barely double checked it. That's the thing. I just sent it. There, you watch Anderson and I. It'll be gone by the time they get this, so who knows? But it's just like if we're sitting at Loveline, you're like, oh, what happens in those? You only get 10 seconds, or you could do a photo. And you can't upload anything from your phone. Who
Oh
cares?
yeah, that's totally different from Instagram. Oh wait, no, it's not at all.
Okay, I'll show you after. Whatever, you don't care. But listen, it's a good time. And I'm sitting here. I just want to tell everyone that I have a new man in my life.
She does. It's true.
And it's, I don't know, I just feel like a different woman right now. Like, I can't believe how he makes me feel.
She's got my dog.
My dog in the lap. Hi, Stanley.
She's
And I have him. You're going to see a lot. Okay, if you do follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you'll be seeing a lot of pictures of us
All right, cool.
together.
Put some on Instagram so they don't go away, so I can
will.
see them when I get
No,
back.
I will. You're not going to
All
go on Snapchat. I get it.
Oh, I also get, you know what? Snapchat will kind of force you to be in the know and be on top of things. You can't like just let it go for a few days because you'll miss out on stuff because it'll be gone.
Right.
So it's like life before TiVo.
Right.
Like if you want to see something, you better watch the first run.
Right.
Okay.
Kind of. But it's also behind the scenes. So it's kind of like a lot of stuff is
But
like.
that's Instagram. That could be.
No, it's not. It's like 7 seconds of like people probably
That's
might be
Vine.
interested. What happens just now? How do we record the
You
show?
could do that on Vine.
Yeah, but it's much more producing tags, and you got to like think of that's the thing on Instagram. You got to tag and you got to color correct it. Here, I just did it and I posted it, and that's me on Loveline because I said, all right, that's me on doing.
Sex with
Sex
Emily
Emily.
is what this show's called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sex Emily. So I'm like, here's Anderson. I don't even know what it said. I just posted it because if you close out of it, it goes away. It's just much more like if I close out, I'm like, oh, I'll
It's
post
here
it
now,
later.
instant
you
gratification.
Do it. So like, here's what I'm doing. Here's me driving. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to
Don't
get
do
into
that.
it,
That's bad.
dude. It won't be my lunches. Although I did post a matzo ball last night.
Not
Because it
while
was
you're
at
driving,
Cantor's. No, I was sitting having
I'm just saying,
matzo
be
ball
safe.
soup. I was having matzo ball soup. It was fun with my friend Nikki.
'Cause you're
So,
Jewish.
I'm a Jew. It was funny though because we were with my non-Jewish friend and she's like, "I love matzo ball soup. What's in it?" We both look at each other. We're like, I don't know. I mean, it's matzah. It was good.
Yeah.
Cantor's Deli. So, okay,
World famous Cantors.
it is world famous.
Yeah.
Do they
Very
just say
bland food considering how world famous that place is. But
And
yeah.
it took like 16 hours. They were really upset about the credit card splitting, and it took like 16 hours to pay our bill.
I used
We
to
were
live
there for
across
hours.
the street from
You
Cantors.
did?
Yeah.
That's near me.
It was
I wish
it
you
was
still
actually
lived-
my go-to restaurant for about a year.
I wish you still lived there.
Yeah.
We'd be best friends.
It's the weirdest neighborhood over there because it's nothing but Hasidic Jews and like hardcore thugs and a bunch of wannabe actors and tourists.
That's okay. It's like a mile from my house. You mean that Fairfax area?
Yeah, that's
Fairfax.
where I lived. I lived right there, right across the
How
street from
long
CBS. 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, I think.
But it was funny because you'd see like hardcore crack addicts like walking by like Hasidic Jews, and they'd kind of make brief eye contact and think we have nothing in common, and then just keep going their separate ways.
Exactly. But do you think I think it's been cleaned up a little bit, changed.
Yeah,
There's lots of Jews. They got rid of all the
Jews.
They got rid of all the Jews except for the deli. Yeah, I know. I always feel bad, but the Hasidic Jews sometimes try to convert me.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they were big on that.
No, they're just like, hey, well, no. I think this one might have been hitting on me. I'm not sure what it was, but he was like, last year he invited me to his Seder at his house. It was like, Pastor was like, what are you doing?
It's a terrible pickup line. Come to my Seder. You want to come to a bris that I'm going to be performing?
I love to come to the bris.
It's bris, right? Not brisk?
Bris.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they cut
They
off
cut
the
the peen.
circumcise you. Yeah,
You
it's
know
like a
the
party.
real hardcore Hasidics actually suck the blood out? I'm not making jokes here.
They suck it?
It's dark subject matter, and I kind of regret bringing it up now. But yeah,
I regret it too.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a true thing. Actually, certain sects that go way back, that are heavily steeped in tradition. Actually, the moil is to suck the blood
it, or
out.
he's sucking it out with the device where he puts it.
His mouth. Then the reason why this came to light is because like a couple of years ago in New York, there was like newborn babies with herpes, and they tracked it back to this one rabbi.
I remember this story.
Yeah.
I blocked it. Thank you for bringing it back. Jesus.
Sex in the news, Anderson
Sex
style.
in the news. Ready? Well, do you want some real sex in the news?
Yes.
Okay. If a woman texts LOL or haha, you're 39% more likely to have sex with her.
Tee-hee.
So since 2016, since the 2016 edition of the Singles in America survey has been published, we've learned quite a bit. We've discovered some interesting information on how emojis can help your game, as well as the dating habits of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump supporters. Today we find out the words that seem to be telltale signs that a girl is definitely interested in you. Kind of say for a moment how weird it is that girl came back. Like it used to be just like woman, woman, woman. You can't say girl. Like when I was in college, like it was so not PC.
I think that might have been kind of isolated to Michigan thing because that
No.
never really came out here. Mm-mm. I call them ladies, I call them broads, I call them
But
girls.
I don't know. I've started to go back to it, but people have to, if the girls aren't pissed, then I'll call you girls. Okay, the survey of 5,500 singles for the online dating site Match revealed that when someone used the words LOL or haha in a message to a potential partner, it increases the chances of a second date by 255%.
Jesus.
If the individual used those two words, it increased the probability they would have sex by 39%. Now, I wonder if a second date just means you're more likely to have sex.
Yeah, I mean, it starts getting interwoven here. It's not perfect science, but
There is no perfect science to any of these studies. Okay, so
or there's this too. Maybe most people do that, and most people have sex, and most people do second dates because pretty much everyone does the LOL. And
I
the
don't
ha-ha.
LOL.
I
go haha.
I hate.
You hate haha?
I hate LOL.
Oh, I hate LOL.
I hate it so much.
I know. I do. I do hate it. I just like. I don't think guys do it.
It's just bullshit. It's a lie. You did not just laugh aloud.
Well, sometimes I do LOL, but I'll just go haha. Like I do. Some people make me laugh out loud.
What about the ha ha ha?
Sometimes I'll go, I seriously did just LOL.
Yeah.
Like to let them know that was real.
Right.
But I won't just LOL.
Rolling on the ground, laughing my ass off. No, you're not.
Right.
You're not Rolfing. No.
You're not.
Stop
No.
lying to me.
But here's something. Okay. On the opposite side, if a person uses the phrase on fleek, it decreases your chance of a second date by 26%.
What is that?
Right, exactly. I had this discussion with Madison today. Just tell her that her eyebrows look nice, please, for your own sake. So apparently, right, it's a thing. It's a term. I'd never heard it, on fleek. It means like on point. But it started by saying like your eyebrows are on fleek. But if you say it, and I guess
Right.
you won't get laid. But I'd
You
never even
won't.
heard it before. So I'm not going to say it.
These are valuable little nuggets you're sending out to your single.
I know. Don't say
listeners.
on fleek. I've never heard it either. I just thought I was out of it because I don't know a lot of things that are
fleek.
cool.
And it stands for what? I'm sorry.
Like you're on point. Like your brows are on fleek. I guess it started talking about eyebrows. Yeah.
Is this like the same like turn up, turn down? Are we talking about this stuff now? I am so old. I have no idea what's going on.
Google it on fleek. I don't have time to Google now.
Hey,
but
I
like,
got a stat too.
go.
If she writes let's fuck, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
100% means that you're right. That's even better. The study also discovered if a person did not wine or dine their potential mate on the first date, their chances of scoring a second date decreases by 107%.
I would think so.
Of course.
Yeah.
Duh.
It's like
They
going
need
to a
study.
baseball game and the players never come out.
Exactly.
You're
right.
sitting there
Like,
empty-
you just pick them up and you're just like
empty field.
sit in the car and look at each other. Like, what do you do if you don't wine
What
and
are you
dine
going to
them?
a park? What are you
Like
doing?
a drive-through and be like, you can get a soda. I don't understand.
You know what though? If let's say you and I were dating and I brought Stanley and I said, hey, our date's going to be walking Stanley, you'd be down.
But I love Stanley. You're
That's
right.
true.
But that wouldn't be wine and dine. That would just be a plan. I mean, I don't know. You're right. Maybe dog walking doesn't count.
It sucks if you're a young guy and you have no money. Though.
Tess,
It
what do you
sucks.
do? You just spend all your money on
You
dates?
just be awesome. That's what you have to do. You have to really step your game up, and you are the entertainment.
No, but I dated a lot of artists who had no money, and I always had good jobs.
Right.
I was much more like type A and focused in my 20s.
Than you are now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know. And I don't feel it anymore. I feel so not like that. I was like super. I wore suits.
Unbearable. Did you have any friends or people around you?
Yes, I did
Did
have
they
friends.
all hate you?
No, they liked me, but I was very like, it's funny, Drew, we asked Dr. Drew before, like, what's the most healthy addiction you can have? And he said exercise,
Water.
if you had to. And I was like, an exercise, like I'd run marathons every day. I'd run 10 miles for work. And it's funny because I didn't drink, I didn't do anything. I just
All lean, bony, and sweaty, and just like,
working
gotta
at City
go.
Hall wearing suits, like had a parking spot at City. I was like.
But you know what else though?
And I was dating artists who didn't have cars, and they would.
But you're never a bitch.
No.
You know what? That type of person you just described, bitch. You know what
You're
I mean?
right. I
Because
was
they
never
expect everyone else to be up to their level, but you don't have
No,
that vibe.
I'm not bitchy. My mom said that to me today too. She goes, you know what? You're never.
That's
like,
what
you
it
don't
is.
have a
We've been
mean
trying
bone
to
in your
figure
body.
it out, Em. Because
What?
like you have all the attributes of people that we hate, but you don't have the bitch attribute that
Right.
usually like is the exclamation mark on that personality.
You're right.
You don't have that.
No, not at all. I
That's
think
why
it's
we
because
like
I'm
you.
so yeah. I could do all this, but I so am not judgmental. I'm not too nice.
You're like a hippie type A person. You're an anomaly.
I am a
You're an
hippie too.
anomaly.
That's the
Yeah.
thing is that I'm a hippie a little bit. I'm a little
Anomaly.
chill. I light incense when I go home.
But you're not sanctimonious. You don't tell people how to live their lives. You give them advice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them how. Yeah,
Oh,
I
Em,
don't
you're
judge
the
anyone.
best.
I should. You're right. I
You're
am the
pretty
best.
goddamn sweet.
You're sweet. Thank you. Here's another thing that's not really surprising, but drinking cocktails on a first date increases odds for a second date by a whopping 137%.
Is that the Bill Cosby stat?
Booze makes everything better. And the most expensive dates were not in New York City or San Francisco, but in Austin, Texas.
What?
The
The
average
Riverwalk.
cost is $81.42.
I think they have the Riverwalk down there, right? Is that
In Austin? No, that's
Alabama.
where my aunt lives. No, it is Texas. It's the other city in Texas.
Austin's the most expensive, huh?
No, but it's what's the one with the
81.
Riverwalk? It's my aunt live my brain.
Is it somewhere in Dallas?
No, it's not
San
Dallas.
Antonio.
San Antonio. Thank
Let's
you.
go see a Spurs game and do the Riverwalk. Let's do
Totally.
it.
The least expensive place in the country is Portland, Oregon. $45 a day. But that still seems like a lot. Maybe I don't have guys taking me out.
Portland's because they're just like smoking weed, transporting dead bodies,
Yeah, that's what they're doing there?
doing meth.
I want to go there. I want to go to Seattle. I haven't been to
Seattle's
Seattle.
sweet. You've never been there?
No.
I love Seattle.
I've never been to Portland either.
Really?
I've been living Stanley dog care everywhere.
You ever see Portlandia?
No.
Great television program.
Okay.
Got to see it before we go to Portland.
I'm going to watch a lot of TV shows this week.
I don't believe you.
I was a little sad this week. I told you.
Yeah,
We weren't going to bring it up. but-
M's having bad times, and actually, you said something quite insightful. I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. As we were preparing for the show, and I went to go get myself a coffee, which I very rudely didn't ask you if you wanted
I'm
one.
out of caffeine. I cut caffeine.
You cut caffeine.
I
Yes.
cut everything.
You were saying you were longing for the days of neuroses.
Well, I was saying that I don't typically get sad. I'm not like a depressive
She's
person.
sad right now.
I mostly am anxious.
Anxious,
And that's not even an emotion. And mostly identify with anxiety, not sadness. But I've been feeling a little sad, and I was thinking, God, I just wish I could be anxious again.
You
It's
were-
only been 2 days.
You said like, whatever, however you phrased it was quite poetic, and I liked it. You
I
said
said
you're
I-
longing for
I'm longing for the anxiety.
the days of anxious. Yes.
Neurosis.
Which sums
I'm
it up.
just
I know
sad.
exactly how you're
But
feeling
I'm
right
going
now.
through like I
when you say
gave up
that.
caffeine.
Yeah.
I ended a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool because it was like on and off, but it's fine. But I don't know. But
She
it's,
doesn't like to admit to her feelings, but she's a little
right.
sad right now.
But I got to tell you that it feels really good, and
Liberating.
it's like wow, it's like a whole new. Not that I don't feel, I do feel. Like I was talking to my mom earlier, and I snapped at her. I called her back. I'm like, I was cried because I felt so bad. Like it's weird.
You know what you should do one day
What?
if you really can't, if you're miserable and you can't get off, write yourself an email and then give yourself advice on the show.
You're so right. I
That'd be
should do it.
sweet.
I know. It's so true. But now I feel better because I have my little Stanley here.
Stanley.
Okay, the optimum amount of time for a first date is 2.5 hours and gives the highest potential for a second date. If you're there for 2.5 hours, you're likely going to have a second date. Over 70% of those on a date with a man prefer that he be clean shaven. Blasphemy.
Why is that blasphemy?
Okay, now I must question legitimacy.
Whoever
of the
wrote
survey.
this article obviously has
Stupid.
a thick beard.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Clean shaven?
No?
Are you? No, you're not clean. I mean,
Well, I mean, I'm not a lady, but I can imagine that, women would have preferences with the scratchiness, especially if you're going to like the Cunnilingus town and, the scratching of the beard there. And
I think that some women just think it's kind of like clean, like it looks, but I don't know. I don't think it's about the cunnilingus thing. I think it's just like women are sort of
well,
into
even
the
kissing.
clean cut.
Like I could, if you have a
never
really
bothered
coarse
me.
beard and there's like food in it, no, I wouldn't want that. But I'm a straight dude, so like the idea of kissing someone with a beard is a huge turnoff.
Right. But you don't have a beard, you have the scruffy. I don't know. That's just whatever. That's what Match. Actually, they do this survey every year, and it's if you go to Match or whatever, they have pretty good stats. That was interesting, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But now we're gonna talk about sexting, okay? Because sexting.
I missed this boat, but I'm
I
familiar
know
with
you
it.
did because you're married. But
Are you choking? You okay?
No, it's just that Stanley. This is what happens when I get Stanley.
Oh,
that,
I should have brought you I have
brush?
like combs and a brush and like
I know.
no
I
shed
brought him a
stuff.
brush next time. Oh, do you have no shed stuff? They make
It
that.
doesn't really work though, and it makes him smell funny. He smells like a hippie.
I washed him last time in the sink.
Oh, are you saying my dog's
I gave a
dirty?
shower. No, I like to wash them. But then I did buy him a brush. I have one at my house.
Okay, good. Because he sheds like a mother.
I don't even care.
Okay.
Okay, so but it's getting in my nose.
Yeah, I feel like you care right now.
I feel like I care just because it's getting in my nose.
Right.
So sexting is a whole thing now, right? I mean, it used to be people used to email me like, how do I, and they still say how do I talk dirty, but it's more like it used to be how do I have phone sex?
Right.
But no one's really having phone sex anymore.
I never understood that.
No?
Nah, didn't do it for me.
Didn't do it for you. But just like hearing your partner's voice. But the great thing about phone sex and the same thing about sexting is there are a few really good things about it, but there are some rules. And I just have 5 right now that I'd like to go through.
All right.
Because the truth is it can be a fun way to turn up the heat in your relationship, as well as start up something new with a partner, like someone new that you're dating, like before you even get into the bedroom.
Nice.
It's kind of like a modern day love letter. Sexting. You're not sending him a letter, but you're saying like it can be personalized and
God,
meaningful.
how far are we falling, honey?
I don't know.
You know what
but
I mean?
really, it should leave you both aroused and primed and ready to go. And the other great thing about it, like just like dirty like phone sex, what people do is that oftentimes it gives you the permission to talk about things that you want, but you can't really say like when you're face to face with your partner. But if you're sexing it, you could be like, hey, I can't wait for you to come over and tie me up. And then you know you want to be tied up.
That's
that
good.
kind of thing.
That's a good point. You
It is a
can
good point.
learn what your partner's
Right,
into.
because you can say it in the safety of your own
Right.
house with your phone or wherever you are, texting and, at work. But the first things, there's a few things that you need to know about it. If you want, because I get questions all the time from friends or like sending me screenshots. Like, I should start a service actually where I answer people's sex for them because I do it for my friends. I'm like,
like
say
you'd
this,
be
that.
like,
yeah, screenshots.
What's it called? I call it Roxanne, but it's Bergerac.
Right. See, Cyrano de Bergerac.
I'm gonna just go with you there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Who wrote the love letter? Who would do the help?
He would tell the person how
Right.
to. Back in the
I
olden
kind of
days.
do that. Like I help my friends. I'm like, no, say this, don't say that. So consider timing.
There
This
should
is
be
the
an
first
app
thing.
for that.
There should be. Maybe that should be my next app.
You're killing me with your rubbing of your nose.
What
You
do I
gotta settle
do?
down.
It's all over my. It's hard.
She's
But
being
this just happened the first time.
enveloped by Stanley's
Because I keep-
shedding hair.
Is it because I'm hugging him so tight?
Yes, and you keep rubbing him. Stop.
I love him. He's like human Prozac. Okay. So the first thing is consider timing. You need to choose the right time in 2 ways. Okay. First of all, if your partner's at work, like timing matters. Like there's always, open up the sexting session. Like, hey, what are you up to right now? Because like if they're at work or they're in the middle of a meeting, you're going to feel
just
rejected.
come hard, yeah.
Yeah. Don't come hard. Like I'm coming hard right now. I don't ever leave
I
with
didn't
that.
mean that.
But if they're meeting, I know what you meant. But if they're meeting or at their dinner with their parents, for example, you might want to hold back on the sexting
Right.
session and also make sure they're
Unless
on
you're
board
into
with
that.
it. Okay. But the other thing is, if you're in a relationship, you don't want to start sexting too soon.
No.
Like, and by relationship, I mean like probably a few dates even. Like
Right.
you gotta feel the waters out.
But you
And,
just
like,
said that it's like courtship.
it is a courtship when you're already dating, but when you've already met someone, like what things that you can't do is if you've never. Okay, do you know how many people start sexting with people like they meet on Tinder? Like,
Oh, I
can't
bet.
wait to
Yeah,
meet
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And then you have this whole,
You get dick pics.
you get dick pics, you get naked pics. I get so many guy friends that are just like, hey, look at this pic this girl on Tinder sent me. I'm like, she's already sent you naked. Like, what is there to look forward to? And then maybe this is something that I'm not understanding. Like, girls feel like they have to do that to
My God.
to close the deal. But like, you're getting the whole shebang. Like, it used to be
No,
fun.
it's 2-dimensional. And
What?
it's cold.
But do you even want it? Yeah, you would if you're a guy. You'd want
If I'm
to
a
see.
dude, yeah, absolutely.
But it's all
Show me the
lighting
goods,
and
kid.
editing and like Facetune. Like, how do you know?
What I
She's
started to
getting
say
rid of her
earlier,
dimples. What?
we've fallen so far. Imagine back to the Victorian days when like the man would court the woman with like poetry, my lovely, and he would like seal it with wax and
I'm
send
saying
it
it's a
off to
modern
her.
day love letter,
And
but
now
this
it's
is-
just like, here are my tits.
I know. Here are my
Check
tits.
out my dick.
Prematurely
This
tits.
can go inside you.
Yep.
Let's fuck.
My friend, I was out with her last night, the same one I was having soup with at Cantor's, the nice Jewish place. We were talking about this, and she had a whole. I'm like, well, let me see the dick pics. She had an entire folder
folder
on her
of dicks?
phone. A folder of dick pics, her giving blowjobs,
What?
her tits,
Who
her
is this
sexy
woman?
photos. She's a friend of mine. And I was just like so impressed. I kept scrolling and scrolling
Impressed.
and scrolling. Well, just sort of pressed and amused and sort of like, you don't care?
Do you remember Steven Soderbergh's breakthrough
Not
film?
not impressed because I don't want dick pics. I mean, just like, just found it curious.
Sex Lies and Videotape?
Yes, I
It
do.
was like such a huge thing
Yeah.
because it was about this guy, James Spader, would actually record his videotape his sexual encounters, and now that's like par for the course.
Right.
Like they made an entire movie about this insane person who actually cataloged and filmed his sexual encounters, and now that's just what you do.
That's what you do.
At Cantor's,
She had a
share.
picture of her at Cantor's Deli. She's like, and look at this, and she's like, there's me giving him a blowjob. I'm like, does he have this? She goes, no, we took it on my phone. I'm like, okay, but
Does she like color catalog them? Like
no,
like
color,
the
like
full
this-
rainbow of Benetton in there.
no, there
of all
wasn't
the
that.
different
It
colored
was
dicks?
just like they were all in a folder. I got to give her that. But you also, like I said, you want to save the sex for down the road. It could be a fun way to lead someone into sexting, like before you actually have sex, but not before you actually meet. So a suggestive sext at the beginning is like a tiny suggestion of like what might to come, like I can't wait to see you, like it was so hot making out with you last time. You know, you can send something like that at the beginning. So again, timing, you don't want to sex before you meet someone, and maybe if you make out or you've gone out twice, you can start mildly sexting and then also just check out make sure they're in a good place. Number 2, you want to build up to sexting. When you're sexting with someone, you don't want to start off like, I just came on your face or something.
Jesus.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand what I mean. It's like foreplay. It's like digital foreplay. So you don't go straight for the genitals, which I've often said on the show is that like the biggest buzzkill is when you're hooking up with a guy. I feel like this is a male thing, but you're making out and then they go right for your pants. And I always thought just like when you get into a relationship with someone for a long time, they're like, forget your boobs. I just want to get busy.
There's this protocol. You got to start.
Yeah, you got to don't go for the general. Yeah, so it's like teasing. Start small. Don't get dirty too fast. Use your words to get things started, and naked pictures and highly sexual language right off the bat. You know what it reminds me of? Like the finger in the butt, like right before you, like doing that too quickly when you don't even know it's coming. Like, oh my God, a finger in my butt without lube. What the hell just happened? We were making out and you stuck your finger in my butt.
I have
That's
a friend,
what it's like.
a very good friend who was making out with a girl in a bar, like actually at the bar. And he tells the story so like casually. He's like, yeah, I was just making out with her. And I put my hands down her pants right at the bar and just right up her butt. I'm like, what? Dude, you're in public at a bar? And like, that's...
Was he testing if she was like, oh, kind of into that kind of thing?
I don't know. But like, you ignored the boobs there in the bar. I guess when you're in a bar, you got to take
but
what
why
you can
not
get,
put him up
right?
her vagina?
Because like I guess his hand wasn't in the appropriate place. This is the same man who actually broke his arm while fisting a woman.
Oh my God! Well, that makes sense then. And
He
that's...
broke his arm while fisting a woman. Yeah,
Was he
he had to
drunk?
have a cast.
How did he not?
But she liked it so much. He was a giver. She liked it so much that he felt the pain, but he just kept doing it.
Are you serious? Did he marry
Swear to
this
God.
woman?
No, he's not married. No kids. This guy's a player. Guy's not,
But, like,
and some
what does he
people
say
listening
with
to the
what-
show right now
Know who he is?
They know exactly who I'm talking about.
Because they listen.
I'm not going to out it, but I'm not going to out it. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, I know him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know him anymore.
No, you should. He's one of your guys. She enjoyed it so much that he pushed
I know
through
who
the
it is.
pain. No,
I
you
know
don't.
who it is.
Shh, quiet.
I'm not going to say it, dude. Okay, so this is the thing. You want to open up the conversation ambiguously as a way of drawing your partner in, getting them interested. So like innocuous, kind of like, I've been thinking about you all day. I miss you. Can't stop thinking about the last time I saw you. Are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I'm picturing like 3 minutes from now what the texts are going to be.
Okay.
Can't wait for you to suck the cock.
Exactly. We're going to get there, people. You can also start with a question. You know what I was thinking about this morning? And then like she'll say or he'll say, what? Or want to know what I planned for us tonight? And that piques their curiosity, gets their mind racing, invites their participation. I like texts like that when a guy's like, hey, guess what I'm thinking about? That's hot, right? Keeps your deepest like inner thoughts and kinky desires to yourself at first. So be flirty and playful. And then don't jump, like I said, right into the sex. You want to play up the romance, allude to candles and rose petals, that kind of thing. Sensual massages, just like foreplay. So much of sexting, the mood takes place before the sex act themselves. So again, when you're starting out early, it's just kind of like the flirty foreplay. Guess what I'm thinking about? Because like dirty talk, when you like go right into it, like fuck me, like whatever, you like, whoa. Is this making sense to you? Complimentary. No?
Well, I just hate the idea of a guy wanting to get to the sexting, which I could understand, and having to talk about rose fucking
No,
petals
I'm just
along
saying
the
it's
way.
an analogy. Like it's
Can't
an
wait to
analogy
light
to
a candle
romance.
in your room that smells real nice.
So it has to do, but I'm not saying that. I was saying it's analogous to like setting up the mood in the room. Like you can't just jump right to it. So you want to set the atmosphere. And then the third thing is be complimentary. You know how I feel about compliments. So warm them up. Okay, this is one of my favorite points in all of this is that you want to make them feel hot, desired, and wanted. I can't stop thinking about your soft, full lips, that thing you did last night in bed. I get so hot thinking about it. Every time I take a shower, I can't help wishing you were there with me. Like, these are fairly benign ways.
Just make them the center of your universe.
Yeah, make them feel good.
Make them feel like you can't think of anything other than them, which might be the case.
It is the case. You're thinking about them other things probably, but you want to make them feel good. So talk about the things that you... Okay, this is my main point here, though. This is the one that it was funny because when Madison and I were talking about this, doing the show, I thought... This is the one thing that has pissed me off, and if guys sex me this stuff, I'm done because it says a lot about them. So you guys pay attention to this. This is what you want to do. You want to talk about the things. This goes for men and women, but talk about things you want to do to please them.
Yes.
So rather than saying, I want to see you riding my dick, or tonight I want you to go down on me for 20 minutes. Is that tempting? No, I'm serious. Make it all about them. You want to run your hands over every part of their body. You want to go down on them until they're shaking. You can't wait to taste every inch of them. Because there was a guy that I was dating for, actually, this was a sign. And I dated him for too long, but he'd be like, I can't wait to think you, that kind of thing. Like all about his penis and his pleasure. Like, I want you to suck me right now. I'm like, yeah, I'll bet you do. Or like, look what you made me do. And he sends a picture of it. It's like,
what did he send a picture of him?
Like his heart. Well, this was Madison's.
His heart?
His heart, his penis in his pants going like, you gave me a bulge.
That's bad? I would think that'd be okay because like it's about you.
It's kind of a compliment, but it's like you just really want to show me your penis.
This would have been better if he sent you like a brawny ad with like a wet paper towel. This is what I want to do to you.
No.
That wouldn't be good.
A brownie ad?
Like a brawny.
Like wipe up the mess?
The paper towels.
Yeah, the paper towels. No.
Like I want to make you wet. No? No good? All right.
You're getting there.
He went from his hard dick to
but
you.
All I'm saying is some guys that to me showed that this guy was really selfish because he was talking about what he wanted me to do to him. I'm like, what about me? Right. And there's also the same guy who wasn't into pleasing me as much.
So it turned out the same thing in the bedroom as well.
So the next thing is you want to be descriptive. Like with anything, this goes for, phone sex, sexting, all of it. We're all really busy people, but you want to save the abbreviation. So like you don't be like, I'm so horny. What are you doing? Like WTRUDOIN. Like no emojis.
You shouldn't use emojis.
Well, you can, but you want to be like winky face, thinking about like what you doing, thinking about your
what you do.
So it's your chance to paint a picture of what you'd like to do to your partner, and more importantly, how you want to do it. So this is where you're descriptive, just like dirty talk in the bedroom. Vivid and specific in what you want and what turns you on.
It almost feels like a pitch.
What, this does?
Like you want to make your movie and you're pitching the studios your ideas.
I am right now the way I'm doing this?
No, like that's
in
what
general,
people
you're
are doing in these
it.
texts.
You're being descriptive.
Here's what I have in mind for us.
But think about it, though. That's what's really going to get you
this
going.
Sex? You want to green light this banging?
Yeah, exactly. Because it also, like, you just want to be specific details. Like, I'm thinking about walking into your room and you're wearing that. I love when guys tell me what they found sexy. Like, you're wearing those thigh-high boots again and that skirt, and I'm going to lift up that skirt. Like, it's great. It's not that hard. Like, think about something that we've done in the past and then describe that. Like, if you don't feel like you're that creative sexually. And this goes both ways, by the way, men and women sending texts like this. And then it also provides, like I said, opportunity to communicate desires that are hard to talk about face to face. So if there's been something that you've been wanting your partner to do or you'd like to try with them, you can say, for example, like if you're telling a story, I'm going to reach into the nightstand and pull out a set of handcuffs and lay back while you cuff me to the bedpost. So you can like let your partner know, I've got cuffs in my nightstand, cuff my ass up, cuff my arms up.
Or like I'm going to open the front door, let the pizza delivery man come in and rail you while I watch in the corner and beat off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you know that they're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So when the doorbell rings, you're prepared. But it is a good way to communicate because you're like, God, he doesn't quite know that I'm into like bondage or I want to be spanked. Like you spank me hard. I think that's a good way to do it. Then next time he spanks you. If he doesn't, it means he can't read. Okay. One more point, but first, let's take a quick break and say, give a shout out to the people that we love that support the show.
Make the show free.
Make the show free. For example, Texture. So Texture is amazing because you can get any single magazine you want, literally any magazine that you check out on that you've ever thought of buying or that you look at. Like I look at them at the grocery store and I'm like, really $6.95 for a magazine? I don't even buy them anymore.
And you're killing that tree.
You're killing the tree. So Texture It's less than $10 a month. It offers unlimited access to all of your favorite magazines for less than the price of 3 magazines at the grocery store.
It's like Netflix for magazines.
It is. It's the Netflix of magazines. I catch up on all my women's health articles, Glamour, Time Magazine, and it's so easy to use. You click on the headlines on the cover page, and they take you right to the articles that interest you. Plus, they recommend stories for me daily. And the best part, they have every magazine to choose from. And this is the thing. I signed up for it because we're giving away everyone a month free, which I will tell you about in a second. But as I mentioned last week, like I hate notifications.
Right.
And since they were like tracking what I was reading, they're like, this might interest you. And it was an article about procrastination, which at the end of the day didn't really help me because I ended up reading it.
Right.
But it was actually a really good article in Scientific American, which I wouldn't look at Scientific American, but they knew.
It makes you
it didn't
smarter.
bother me.
Yeah.
It made me smarter. And rather than like sitting on like Instagram or whatever, like I'm like, oh, I'm actually reading more now because I have texture. And I used to hoard magazines at my house because I did get subscriptions. Right. It's so much better.
And then you feel like such a loser because you see them laying around your house. You're like, I paid for that. I didn't even open it. And now it's all old news. You know, I used to get Entertainment Weekly delivered to my door every single week.
Right.
And they just stack up because they're coming. And if I don't have time, I feel like defeated seeing them in the house.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's how I felt. And I finally threw all my magazines away because I'm starting fresh with Texture. So go to texture.com/Emily. Try it free for a month. That's TEXTURE.com, Emily. And it's free. Check it out. All the magazines you want. And it's just so cool. Okay. Also, intensity. You've heard me talk about my intensity. And if you've bailed on your New Year's resolution to like work out more, I mean, how many of you made resolutions to work out more, quit smoking? It's rough. It's February, okay? It feels great to be in shape, boost your confidence and your libido. But if you're ignoring one muscle group that can have the biggest impact on your sexual performance, don't worry, there's a product that will do the work for you. The Intensity is unique, insertable device. It strengthens your pelvic floor with gentle electrostimulation, delivering an extremely effective and automatic Kegel exercise. So you don't even have to do it yourself. You just lie back. The shaft inflates. It perfectly positions it to conductive pads where they will directly stimulate your pelvic floor muscle. You don't even have to do the squeezing part. Like you really just lie back and read my Texture on my phone. That's what I do every day. This muscle group gives you more control over your pleasure during intercourse. It's also responsible for, preventing urinary incontinence, sneezing and peeing, not fun, which is what the Intensity was originally designed to cure. And like, do you know in France that postnatal care, when you have a baby, they actually they give you these devices and they make you do your Kegel exercises because so many women don't realize that after you have a child, you have a lot of issues going on down there, right?
They make you?
Yeah, they make you. It's part of the plan. It's like, no, they don't make you. They're like, I highly suggest
you've done your Kegels,
you prepare the muscles. You had a child come out of your vagina and the muscles are looser. So they just happen to have a vibrating option as well because, hey, why not have an orgasm while you're working out? So I really have increased my strength control and I have the best orgasms of my life. And I even stopped doing it for a few weeks because I was super busy and it pissed me off. And then I realized it changed.
Peeing yourself.
I did. No, I'm not kidding you.
What? No.
I wasn't peeing myself, but there is a thing when you cough or you sneeze, you get a little drop. And then I was like, I got to go back and do it again. It's like when your jeans don't fit when you stop working out.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about it. Like, so people pee when they do yoga, the whole thing. So order your Intensity. Go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Intensity banner, and get it, pourmod.com. And I think they're having like $30 off or something. So check that out. It. Okay, here's my 5th point about sexting, and then we're going to get your emails. Think before you selfie, before you send a naked photo. Newsflash, according to Adam and Eve's sexting survey, 60% of respondents said they save nudes and sex to their phone. And I'm telling you it's true because all my friends show me it, men and women. That means that every naked picture you send, there's a 60% chance it was kept for later use, whatever that use may be.
60%? What's wrong with that 40%?
I know. Why aren't they saving it? Yeah. So here's the thing. Once you send a sext or a naked picture, it's gone forever. You've no idea what the other person will do.
It's not gone forever. That's the thing. It's
you
there
in your
forever.
brain, you think it's gone forever. So the majority of people know that a sext could be shared, but they don't think it will happen. There was a study at Indiana University, and it revealed that 95% said that, hey, we believe the sext could be shared, but only 12% reported it happened to them. So they think, well, it would never happen to me. And you may think that it won't happen to you, but it does. And Madison was also telling a story that in 2008, she was dating a guy, sent him all sorts of naked pictures through the relationship. This wasn't her, it was a friend of hers. And when they broke up, he sent them in a massive group text to all their mutual friends to make it so she couldn't be friends with them anymore. This girl. Like people are malicious with your sex. So
I'm taken aback with guy friends that I've had who they're just like, hey, check it out. Like your friend did a Cantor's the other night.
All the time.
And they're like showing me like girls that I know that I'm like friends with because we all go out together. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to see. Why are you doing this? And they don't care. They're like trophies almost.
Right.
And I'm sickened and annoyed by guys' candor in doing that. And there's more. I would say more. Sorry, fellas who are listening, but I would say that more guys actually share their sexting pictures and their naked pictures of their girlfriends than don't.
Oh yeah, they all. I mean,
and I think it's hugely inappropriate.
I do too.
And upsetting.
I mean, you got to think about who you're sexting, what kind of person they are they type to share intimate details? But the truth is, you don't know anyone. You might break up with them. You think that they're not going to sex. So I think that's an important message for you people. Pay attention and don't send naked. I'm not a fan. We can do some emails.
Yeah, one.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for emailing me. Feedback at sexwithemily.com. I love hearing from you. Always include your name, where you live, how old you are. Okay. Hey, Emily, Happy New Year. Is it too late to be saying that? Anyways, the one question I've always had is how can I build on my partner's self-esteem, confidence, so they will be willing to try new things in bed? Oftentimes, I find the initial reaction to a request is no, or I'll feel silly, or I won't look sexy. Is there something more besides communication and compliments to foster a more open mind and convince your partner that you find them sexy in any way? Love the show and all your tweets, Daniel. Okay, Daniel, it could be the way that you're presenting these new ideas to your partner. So when sex things get brought up, like seemingly out of the blue, that could be a problem. You might you might have to take a different approach because if you're just like, hey, let's try this, let's try that, she might not necessarily like know where you're coming from with it. So your mind is probably in sex a lot. Your partner, she might not have been thinking about it a lot, but she's not even thinking about ways to take it to the next level. For her, what I'm thinking, if I'm in her position, these requests might feel like they're coming out of the blue. She hasn't thought about it. She doesn't know what she wants. And when you suggest it, she's like thinking maybe she's not enough for you. So positive reinforcement of all, and I know you said, you're already doing compliments, but I'm talking about positively reinforcing the things that she's already doing to help her feel more confident and sexy. Like, I really love when you climbed on top of me during sex last night. That was really hot. You can say it in a sext if you want. That was so hot. You seemed like you were really enjoying it. And you put the focus on like these specific things that she's doing or trying. And that will help build her confidence surrounding sex versus just telling her like, you're sexy. So this really is different than a compliment. It's more of like a very specific, like, I liked what you did sexually. And then also, have you ever, Daniel, asked her what she'd be interested in trying versus asking her to fulfill your fantasies? Because right away, she might not know off the bat what she wants to try, but we'll get her thinking about it. Because you say that her initial actions are, no, I'll feel silly, I won't look sexy. So it sounds like she just needs a little more encouragement and maybe some time to think about what she'd want to try as well, rather than you just saying, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm going to be honest that a lot of women don't, many women, not a lot, but some women, the majority of women, not majority, what am I saying? Women. Ladies.
Girls.
Don't always have these fantasies. Some women just don't fantasize. They're not like, God, I'm dying to try this, I'm dying to try that. So you might need to help her come up with those things. You might even say to her, like, what have you been thinking? She's like, nothing. But maybe you can suggest some things. Watch some porn together. Go online shopping for sex toys and be like, oh, this might be cool to try. So maybe you can together have a discussion rather than a one-way thing of telling her what you want to try.
I feel like I know the ladies pretty well, Em. I've been around the block and I've been around for a while, right?
Right, you have been.
And I'm happily married. And, I seem to, I know my wife inside and out, but every now and again, you guys, you always hear like, girls and guys are so different and they'll never understand each other. And I don't know if that's absolutely true, but I also grew up with sisters. My point is,
Yes.
Every now and again I get thrown for a loop. And just a couple nights ago on Loveline, a girl called up and she said that she had never touched herself before and never tried to masturbate. I immediately thought of you because you kind of went through the same thing.
Right.
And her reason was, I'm telling this for your emailer because just to let him know how out there some girls can be.
Right.
Her reason why she's never touched herself was because she's not attracted to herself and she doesn't think of herself as sexy and she doesn't turn herself on. So why would she even bother to bang herself, essentially?
Right.
Imagine that, guys. Imagine like the only way you could do yourself is if you like were sexually attracted to yourself. That's where her mind was at.
Right.
That's what she thought she had to be.
Right.
And actually, I dated a girl in high school. I remember she went like I tried to get her to do stuff and she'd be like, I don't want to dyke out with myself. Like, what?
Yeah, like
You're
it's
not dyking
interesting.
out with yourself.
Exactly. There's so many. That's a great example. There's so many women who just don't think about it. And we're so busy. We're on our phones. Like our brains don't go towards Mine didn't go to masturbating. So that could be another thing. Maybe she does it. So mutual masturbation is great. You might get figuring out how she touches herself. So I just think, yeah, you got to bring her into it. That's a very good point. We get a lot of those calls. Okay, that people don't think about it. So women are not like men in that way. Okay.
Mars, Venus, you know.
Winner from Venus. Okay, thanks, Anderson. Great to see you. Thanks for sharing your dog. What's going on with all your podcasts, your podcast empires?
Cinematics is the one that I'm kind of still trying to get off the ground. We just did week 7. Last week we did Deadpool and Where to Invade Next with Michael Moore. We see these movies a couple days before they come out. We release it on Wednesday, and then you have an idea of what's coming out that week. And this week,
that's great. Like I don't think anyone should see a movie without listening to your podcast.
Yeah, and we don't give things away, and we actually will bring up stuff that you might not notice had you not seen it. We get the press notes, and we get studio stuff, and we see behind the scenes stuff. So we have more information that enhances your movie going experience. We also hit Race this week, which is the Jesse Owens true life story, but the 1936 Olympics, where the gold medal he went into Nazi Germany, and he's the first ever black track and field.
Remember.
And Jason Sudeikis is actually his first dramatic role. And you know what? This movie's good.
Really?
And they're not making it look good on TV. This is a good little movie.
Documentary? No, it's
Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, right. I know. I'm the
playing
actor.
the coach.
Right. I got it. I want to see it.
It's well acted.
I'm going to see a lot of movies this weekend
film.
with your dog.
Yeah.
Can you bring dogs into the theater?
It's frowned upon.
Okay. What if I...
Oh, I got to get you his vest, too. Not that you should abuse it, but he can definitely pass. He's my therapy dog because he doesn't bark. He's a mellow.
He's already
I shouldn't have said this on
What? No, everyone's had the
because I hate how people do that. I've been doing it with Stanley for 10 years, and he's never caused a problem.
Well, Stanley's the best dog on the planet.
All right, let's go get a snack.
Okay, got it. Okay, thanks everyone for listening.
The name of that show, sorry, Cinematics. Cinema,
get it on iTunes.
And then addicts, like with drugs, because we're addicted to cinema, and it's on iTunes, yeah.
Check it out. Okay, everyone, thank you. Also, follow me. Do it. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, freaking all of those places. It's at Sex with Emily. Thanks for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, but first I'm going to tell you about, or at the end, I'm going to tell you about Promescent. 1 in 3 men, they suffer from premature ejaculation or they just want to last longer in bed. I hear from guys all the time. They're like, how do I last longer? How do I last longer? You might last 5 minutes. You want to last 10. Try out Promescent. It's a quickly absorbing delay spray. Allows you to have the sex you want. You can focus on your partner's hot body. You don't have to think about like baseball or all the things that guys do so they won't come. Really, just take Promescent, put it on your penis. It doesn't transfer to your partner, and it will help you last twice as long. Thousands of urologists are recommending Promescent, the only FDA-approved treatment for premature ejaculation or just for lasting longer in bed. Go to Promescent.com. Check it out or check it out on our website. Click on the banner. Thanks for listening. Here's a message from Podcast One. Okay. They've got a really important listener survey at podcastone.com. Your responses will help make this show the very best it can be. And you'll help Podcast One continue granting your requests. It'll only take 3 minutes of your time, and you get the instant gratification that comes with knowing you help support the show. It's just as important as supporting our sponsors. You can tell us how you really feel about the show and help us get to know you better. Do it now. Take the survey at podcastone.com. That's podcastone.com. Thanks.